I want us to look at we are going to have a description of the parts of a leaf. I think the information may be important to all of us. For those following, you're welcome. We are back, we are live streaming, again looking at biology. Let's start with specifically the veins. We were talking about the veins previously when categorizing the plants into monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous. I want us to look at the veins. The veins, let me use this one that is a bit larger. This is also a vein. This is also a vein, and it is termed as the main vein, the midrib. This one is true. These lines you see here are also veins. They are found in a leaf. You can find some veins even on the leaf stalk in some plants, like for the cassava plant. You will find that the leaves have, even the petioles have veins. I think they are not visible here, but in some you find they are visible. Even this one, this is the main vein, the midrib. These are veins, and these are some branches of veins, and the ones we are going to look at. The veins will be those foreign lines found on the blades of the leaf. They play a certain function and a very vital role to a plant. We are going to mention some of the functions played. Functions of the veins to the leaf. The veins we are talking about, they are the veins that transport. No, actually, let's phrase this point like this. The veins actually, the veins consists of vascular bundles. Consists of the vascular bundle. We very well know that the vascular bundle is made up of the xylem and the phloem. That means the xylem in the leaves transport water and dissolved mineral salts.
Bernard, we say I'm only requesting after this we also look forward to the types of leaves.
Yeah. I'm going to look at that, Mr. Cole. The xylem, we know that the xylem transmits or transports water and dissolved mineral salts from the stem to the blade of the leaf. The phloem in the vascular bundle within the veins transmit away the manufactured food to the stems and other storage organs of the plant, the fruits and so on. These vascular bundles are found in the veins of a leaf. It's the phloem in the veins that transmits oxygen, dissolved carbon dioxide, other parts of the leaf. They transmit waste products for excretion in other parts of the leaf. We shall find that the phloem transmits hormones, the growth hormones and other hormones from the leaves and to the leaves. So I'm mentioning some of the uses or the functions of the veins. They are the veins. When tagged, when the veins are tagged, the veins support the blade of the leaf. When the veins are tagged, we shall look at the meaning of that word tag. We shall find that they are the veins that support the blade of the leaf. For this banana leaf, for the blade to keep spread like this, it is the role of these veins. We are talking of this blade. For this blade to keep spread like this, not folded like this, it is the role, the strength, the rigidity within these veins that are keeping this blade like this, not folded. So they are the veins that support the blade of the leaf from folding. So when they lose their rigidity, that is when they lose the water in them, the stiffness in them is lost, the leaf will have to fold like this. The veins, we shall look at so many other things. These are some of the major functions of the vein. To go on, we have types of venations. These are likely questions. Things may be asked. They may ask what they may bring indirectly. What may happen to the leaf if the veins are damaged? The likely things that may happen. The leaf will not receive water, will not receive the mineral salts. The manufactured food will not be conducted direct to the storage organs. The other parts of the plant will not receive the hormones, and the leaf itself will not receive the hormones from other parts of the leaf, and so many other things. The carbon dioxide and oxygen will not be transported from the leaf to other parts of the plant, since the leaf is the site for gaseous exchange. So to continue, we have three major types of venation. We have mentioned them previously, and we said we have reticulate, which is commonly known as network venation. We have parallel venation, and we also have parallel innate venation. We are going to look at these types of venation in details. As you hear the word network or reticulate, this kind of venation, let me use this one to bring it out clearly. This kind of venation, it is where the veins are branching from, actually the veins are highly branched from the main vein and from the bottom of the leaf, but highly interlocking with one another, forming a mesh-like structure or a net-like structure or a reticulum on the blade of the leaf. This kind of a reticulate has veins of different sizes. If you are to witness this, the veins are of different sizes. They are not of the same size. This one is larger than the other one. We are finding that the veins are of different sizes. The veins are highly branching and interconnecting with one another. So the words I'm using are the veins are highly branching and interconnecting. To form a net-like or reticulum. A net-like structure, sometimes they call a reticulum or a reticulum. And we said that the veins are of different sizes. We are talking about the network leaf venation. And when we go to parallel leaf venation, when we use this one, we shall find that this one is not so clear. Let me use this one. For the parallel leaf venation, we shall find that the veins run from the bottom of the leaf to the tip of the leaf. These lines you see in this leaf, they are running parallel to the main vein, what we call the midrib, and to one another. And when you look at it closely, the veins, the distance from one vein to the other is the same as the distance from the other vein to the other. And also, the sizes of the veins are almost similar. They're of the same sizes, the veins. So the things you must know, that the veins run from the bottom of the leaf to the tip of the leaf, parallel to one another. Being parallel to one another, and they have regular spacing between themselves. And the veins are almost of the same size. This is what we call parallel leaf venation. The veins do not branch and they do not interconnect. They may meet at the tip of the leaf, but do not form any thin structure on the blade of the leaf. They just run parallel to one another and to the main vein. They run from the bottom to the tip of the leaf. They are of the same size and they have regular spacing from one another. If you have to get a leaf, you look at the lines, you look at the spacing between one line to the other. If you closely look at it, that is parallel venation. And then the parallel pinnate. The veins, these primary veins, are parallel to one another. If you look at it, if you look at it, the veins are parallel to one another, running from the midrib to the margin of the leaf. The veins are perpendicular or meet at a certain angle to the main vein, the midrib. The veins are almost of the same size. If you look at the sizes, the vein from the bottom, the veins are almost of the same size as the veins at the tip, which was not the case in the network venation. The veins still have regular spacing between one another. Almost the space between this and this is the same space between this and this. The space between this and this is the same size space between this and the other one. They have regular spacing. They run parallel to one another. I'm talking of the veins, but perpendicular to the main vein. So that makes that calls for three categories or three types of leaf venation. We have parallel pinnate venation, We've seen it. The veins are parallel to one another, but perpendicular to the main vein or the midrib. They are of the same sizes, and they have regular spacing between one another. We talked of the parallel venation, where the veins run from the bottom of the leaf to the tip of the leaf. They're of the same size, parallel to one another and to the main vein, and have regular spacing between one another. I think that is what we call venation. For the lenticular or network venation, the veins are highly branching and interconnecting, forming a net-like structure, or what we call a reticulum. The veins are of different sizes and do not have regular spacings between one another. So that is what we call venation. And those are the three major types of venation we must know. When they are damaged, of course, the leaf will have to fold because it will have no support. The other parts of the plant will not be able to receive dissolved gases, since it is the site for gaseous exchange, and so many other things. So that is venation. We are looking at the parts of the leaf. That drives us, someone has called, we look at the types of leaves. But before that, let us look at the petiole. The petiole, said, or the leaf stalk, it is that solid part of the leaf that extends from the leaf base to the leaf blade, that intermediate part of the leaf. Let me bring it and see it. To this one, this is the leaf petiole, or the leaf stalk, this one. When we break it from the leaf, like this, when we detach it from the stem, this becomes the petiole. It is this space between the leaf base and the leaf blade. Its major function is to hold the leaf firm on the stem. It holds the plant. It is of that height, it is of that length that it holds the leaf in space where it can maximally receive sunlight. Giving some of the functions of the petiole. It acts as the major supply of the vascular bundle to the veins. It is the passage of the vascular bundles from the stem to the veins. It is where all nutrients are conducted to and from the leaf. So, giving functions of the petiole. We said the petiole may be a solid petiole, or it may be a sheathed petiole. If it is a sheathed petiole, it means that to detach it from the stem, you have to just unseal it from the stem. It is flattened like this. So this is a sheathed petiole, and it is sheathed when it is flattened. It is solid when it is actually just broken from the main stem. I've mentioned the functions. I don't think there are other major functions of the petiole. I think they are the ones. There's not much detail about the petiole. In most cases, the petiole also may serve a protection purpose. Some leaves, the petiole is thorny. It has thorns on it that scare away animals that could detach the leaf from the plant. So it serves a protection purpose. To others, it is spiny. It has spines on it. We know camew. You cannot touch camew because it has spines on its petiole and the leaf blade. It scares the animals that could detach it from the main plant. So there are functions that the petiole serves, and they are of a number. That will drive us to another part of the leaf, and this part of the leaf is the lamina. The leaf lamina is this one. This one is the lamina. I'm explaining the major parts. I will not talk about every part of the leaf. This one is the lamina, this one here. It has the lower surface and the lower surface and the upper surface. It is on this structure that a number of other structures are found. The hair, scales, stomata, and so many other things. It has layers, which we may not mention right now, but when viewed under a microscope, we shall find that it has layers when you cut it like this and observe the internal structure of it. The lamina, it is the flattened surface of a leaf on which the other parts are attached or are supported. It is the part of a leaf that calls for classification of the leaves, like my friend had called for. The lamina is either divided or not divided. Where the lamina is not divided, the leaf will be classified as a simple leaf. For a simple leaf, the lamina may not be divided, or it may be partially divided. So for any leaf to be called a simple leaf, the lamina is either not divided or partially divided. Like I'm going to give examples. For a simple leaf with the lamina not divided, that kind of a simple leaf is known as a simple entire leaf. A simple entire leaf. It has its margin, its lamina not divided at all. Like this one, its lamina is entirely not divided. So that kind of a leaf is known as an simple entire leaf. We shall have other examples of leaves. For example, the partially divided lamina, the leaves with partially divided lamina. These ones are known as simple lobed leaves. The simple lobed leaves, they have their lamina divided but partially, not completely. We can give an example of a cassava leaf. We can give an example of a purple leaf. Here, the lamina is divided but not completely. And in this kind of a leaf, the parts of the lamina are known as lobes, not leaflets. Yes, the lamina is divided, like we are seeing this, but not completely to have independent leaflets or independent leaf-like structures, like on this one. For this one, it is completely divided. To form independent leaf-like structures, we call leaflets. For this one, it is not completely divided. It is partially divided. So these ones are not called these ones are not called leaflets. This time they are called lobes. So for the simple lobed leaves, the leaf lamina is divided partially to form lobes. So we are looking at simple leaves. You can think of examples. Another example of such a simple lobed leaf, we have the likes of the purple leaf, some jackfruit leaves, some mango leaves. There are some leaves whose lamina, some sweet potato leaves. The lamina is partially divided to form lobes, not leaflets. So the simple leaves may be simple entire or simple lobed leaves. Let me hope I'm clear.
Yes. Someone saying answer.
So to move on, we can look at the compound leaves. They are formed as a result of dividing of the lamina. Is what we are looking at. Let me hope we are following, please. Before we go any further, any comments? Any supplements? Shalom, you're welcome. If you have any comment, please ask. If you have any question, ask. If you have any comment, please pause it. But we are looking at leaves. I want us to have a broad view about leaves. We understand them better because they are common questions. They ask them commonly. Any question about simple leaves? Any question, please? Sir, are we going to have some scenario about the flowering plants? That is obvious. We are going to have a number of questions and we are going to respond to them. Please just keep on. Any other question? I want us to first get some information about them and then we'll look at questions. Any other question, please? Please ask. You're welcome, Madam Nachintu. Mr. Bernard, I think I'm answering you. You said only requesting after this, we also look forward to type of leaves. I'm clearing them. Let me hope I'm answering Mr. Bernard. So we have what we call compound leaves. For the compound leaves, we shall find that for any leaf to be called a compound leaf, it has the lamina completely divided. For any leaf to be called a compound leaf, it must have its lamina completely divided. But the type depends on the leaflets formed. So the structures formed after the dividing of the leaves are the ones we call leaflets. So this is a single leaf. After its lamina being divided, it formed the leaf-like structures on the same leaf stalk. Because if this is the entire plant, this is a stem, and if this is not a stem, but having several leaf-like structures on the same structure, it makes this one qualify to be a leaf. So this means its leaf lamina or leaf blade was completely divided to form these leaf-like structures that we call leaflets. They are called leaflets. The number or arrangement determines the kind of a compound leaf. If the lamina is completely divided to form 3 leaflets, this is called a trifoliate leaf. That one is called a trifoliate leaf. We can take an example of a bean leaf. A bean leaf is a trifoliate leaf because when its blade divides completely, this one is crucial, and this one, it forms 3 leaflets. I'm sorry, excuse me. The second type of leaf, of compound leaves, we have what we call compound digitates. We said for these compound leaves, when the lamina divides, it forms independent leaf-like structures. For example, when I'm trying to peel off this one, it will not affect this one, it will not affect the other one, which is not the case with the cassava leaf. To know that this one was not completely divided, when I try to remove this one, I will affect this one. So this one makes it to be a simple leaf. It means it was partially divided. So these ones are lobes, not leaflets. So for the other one is a compound leaf because when you try to peel off one of the leaves, of the leaflets, it does not affect the other. Each of them is independent. So where 5 leaflets are formed on the same leaf stalk, where the 5 leaflets are formed on the same leaf stalk, after the dividing of the lamina completely, what we call is known as a compound digitate, or compound palmate leaf. Hope I'm answering Mr. Bernard and the friends. Where the third type, where the leaf lamina is divided completely to form leaflets arranged on the margin, on the midrib, either opposite to one another or alternating one another like this. This is an alternating arrangement. This is known as opposite arrangement. This kind of a leaf is known as a pinnate compound leaf, a compound pinnate leaf. The leaf lamina is completely dividing, forming leaflets that are either arranging opposite to one another or alternating one another on the midrib of the of the leaf, and this kind of a leaf is known as a compound pinnate. Now, where we are going to talk about something about the pinnate, compound pinnate, where the lamina divides, forming leaflets that are either opposite one another or alternating one another, but the leaflets also dividing further to form other leaf-like structures we call pinnules, still arranging on the midrib of the leaflets. This kind of a leaf is known as a compound bipinnate leaf. Here, the lamina divides to form leaflets, irrespective of the kind of the arrangement. Here, the leaflets formed after complete division of the lamina also divides to form other leaf-like structures we call pinnules, or what we call pinnae. The pinnae will form either opposite or alternating one another, and this kind of leaf is known as a compound bipinnate leaf. We can take an example of jacaranda. Here we can take an example of cassia leaf. I think we know acacia gasia mumumanyi mwali mumulabyeko. An example is this one. This is a compound pinnate. If you can see this very well, the leaflets here, the leaflets are opposite one another. But the compound pinnate may be compound polypinnate or compound imparipinnate. I don't know if you are getting me well. We have compound polypinnate and the compound imparipinnate. The compound polypinnate leaves are the ones with the terminal leaf here. When it is a pinnate leaf, yes, but with the terminal leaf up. With the terminal leaflet up like this. So that one becomes a polypinnate. The imparipinnate is an example of this one. It has no terminal leaf at the top of it. So this one becomes an imparipinnate leaf. So for details, you can look at Google. Google will provide them well, or WhatsApp AI, and get more description about these ones. If you have any question about these types of leaves, please ask. Please ask. Yes, Mr. Douglas. We are going to look at the modification shortly, and maybe that will come in the next session. We are going to look at the different modifications, the leaf bulbs. We have the bryophyllum, it is a modified leaf. We have the thorny leaves. We have the scaly leaves, and so many, the tendrils. We are going to look at them. They are very many. So we are looking at the types of leaves. Let me hope we are getting information well. I'm going to bring an example of the the bipinnate and imparipinnate and show them in the next video. Thank you. Let's meet in the next session for more information about leaves, that is leaf modifications, and some sample scenario questions about leaves. Thank you.